Hello folks, it's Chris from Startup Different, and we're here talking to Dnero, which means money. Carlos, what does Dnero do?
Dnero is a digital wallet. It's targeted to the Hispanic market in the United States, Mexico, Central America, and South America.
Wow, okay, so why, we're obviously in Toronto, so why Toronto for Collision?
We know we were invited in 2020, we couldn't make it, and they invited us again, and here we are, and we said, you know what, let's go to Collision for the first time and see what's all about. And Toronto it's been a beautiful city, it's a great visit, and we're shocked at how many people showed up here, and it's about connections. You know, you just never know who you're going to meet, whether it's a partnership, an investor, it could be an employee, strategic partnership, it could be the love of your life. You just never know. You just got to show up, right?
Right on.
Yeah.
So we always we're called Startup Different, so we're always trying to figure out what's the differentiator. What is the different thing that you guys do? What is the one thing that you guys think you're doing different than everybody else?
Cool. You know, actually, that's a good question, because if you look at all the digital wallets out there, you got the Venmos, you got the Cash Apps, you got the PayPals, you got the Zells. They all have one thing in common. They don't speak Spanish. Nice. They're not in Spanish. They're not, you know, you download the app, it's all English. So one of the big differentiators are is like we're fully in English and Spanish. So we speak our people's language, which is Spanish, and we speak Dnero, which is money. And it makes us very unique because we allow them to be part of this digital economy. One of the great things that the brick and mortar banks did, and I congratulate them, was there was a lot of talk about financial inclusion of all these minorities and the Hispanic and Latinos. And they did go out and they started creating different products and different systems so that way people can create, eventually, bank accounts, right?
Right.
But what happened? When that finally got done 10, 15 years later, a big revolution happened in the banking industry. They went all digital. So now it's like, oh boy. So how do we help the Hispanics and Latinos be part of the whole digital economy? And that's what we decided to do, making the digital banking so easy. You don't have a bank account, we partner up with 7-Eleven, Rite-Aid, Walmart, go little money in cash in person, right? You don't need a social security number as long as you have an IT number. Now you get the beautiful, you get to participate, right, in the whole ecosystem of being part of Uber, DoorDash. You can now get your Netflix membership, whereas before you couldn't.
You couldn't do that, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what we're doing.
So the last thing we always ask on this this show is, what is a startup myth that you'd love to bust? Ooh. What do you got for me?
Boy, I've been wanting that question to be asked for years, and no one's ever asked that. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes. Do not go and waste your time to all these angel investors and this local community that wants to invest. Like, you're better off focusing and sticking to your product. Go out to friends and family, find a tribe that believes in what you're doing, and eventually the funding will come from the people that you least expect. But other than that, all these startup angels, they're just there to have a good time, have fun, mingle, but they don't ever write checks.
So revolutionary funding model, customers.
Exactly, exactly.
Right on. That's great. Thank you, Carlos.
All right.
All right, we're on to another.